Okay, this is for my American friends and colleagues. The dust is just beginning to settle after the American election. The American people have spoken. I must admit, I find myself still in a little bit of shock because I was not expecting Donald Trump to win. I know that some of you suggest I predicted his victory. I didn't. I was wrong, and I hold my hands up. But then I did say that whichever person got elected, they would not serve a full term. I stand by that prediction. So, in that light, there's a couple of things I want to comment on about the nature of American politicians, Republican Party candidates in particular, and the American chart. First of all, with Mike Pence, I've got Pence's chart. He's actually 4 years younger than me, 4 years younger than me, which is a little bit of a conundrum for me, but hey. We don't have a time of birth for him. We know he was born on the 7th of June 1959. If anyone does have a time of birth for him, I'd be really grateful if they would forward it to me. And the reason I want a time of birth for him is because the moon changed sign around midday on the day of his birth. If he was born before midday 15 local time, then his moon's in Gemini. If he's born after midday 15, his moon is in Cancer. Looking at the shape of his face, quite round, I'm suggesting it's moon in Cancer. Also, if he is born with the moon in Cancer, then he's got Saturn in early Capricorn, and if he's born PM, there is a Moon-Saturn opposition in his chart, which is common in the charts of people who come across as somewhat hard, impersonal, detached, objective. They come across as this. It doesn't mean they are, but it comes across like this. So I am suspecting a PM birth time with the moon in Cancer, Gemini with Cancer moon. He has a Venus-Mars conjunction in early Leo squaring Neptune, which is unusual considering his stance on right-wing politics, feminism, abortion, LGBT stuff. It's common in the charts of dancers and people who really have a more holistic and open approach to movement, whether it be dancing, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, Pilates, swimming, anything that involves physicality, sensuality and artistry. So to see it in Mike Pence's chart makes me think he must have a rather unusual ascendant. And then they come to the Trumpster, Donald. The Orange Caligula, one of my American clients have called him. He is the president-elect of the United States at the moment. What I find fascinating, right now his progressed moon is squaring his progressed Jupiter and on top of his natal Saturn, which is why perhaps he's being a little bit more taciturn and quiet at the moment. This will not last, obviously. How could someone with Mars on the ascendant in Leo be quiet and taciturn for too long? I've done an analysis of Trump's chart before, and I don't feel the need to do it again. But I am going to comment on something I've mentioned before. Starting on the very end of December, Saturn begins a 9-month conjunction to his moon. And when Saturn stands still and starts going and stops going backwards and starts going forward in the high summer in the Northern Hemisphere, it stands still exactly on his moon, precisely 1 minute of 1 degree, for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm seriously suggesting that June, July, August is going to be an extremely difficult time for him, especially as he was born on a full moon, and Saturn will also be opposite his Sun. This lasts from early mid-January through to September of next year. And I can't help but feel that he's going to have an extremely difficult time in the first 9 months of his presidency. As another one of my American clients turned around to me and said he won't last long. Being a president is too much like work. The idea of him commuting every day from Washington to New York so that he can sleep in his own bed is unusual. And I feel that the American public are in a kind of shock. They've voted for him, even though he's not paid income tax for a long, long time. There's a number of other things I could say about him, but what's the point? It's also worthy of note that the American chart is still under a great deal of pressure. The Jupiter-Pluto square, which hit the Sun-Saturn square in America's chart big time at the end of November is set to repeat itself once again around July, and particularly the I think it's end of July, start of August, but nowhere near as strong as November. So I do think that with Jupiter still sitting on America's Saturn and squaring its Sun, but there's still more revelations to come out, but they won't come out now till July, August. I still maintain from my astrological perspective that I would, if she were to say to me, what's the odds on any president normally being still president within 1 year of their election and inauguration, I would say 90%, 100%. With Donald Trump, because of what Saturn's doing, I have to say the chances of him still being president in 9 months' time, 70%, 65%. And we are heading into a Mercury retrograde, which is going to have a direct effect upon the American chart. So there's going to be further revelations between now and the inauguration. Watch this space. I wish my American clients and friends well. You live in a fantastic country, the biggest, most generous country in the world. It's going to be fascinating from an astrological perspective to see what happens over the coming months. Catch you later. Bye.